I am the Grand Master, the ancient Jedi.
Mr. Johnson, Prime Minister of the UK. President Biden, President of the US. And United Nations Council. Even if you are the actual leaders that you say you are, and not just a front, then this goes out to those few times in history where we have intervened since our fall. Although you should really know who we are. Especially as we brought Project Paperclip to the world. As at the time, not myself, but was necessary. As why should Russia and the US get away with repatriating Nazi scientists and war criminals, whether they got you to the moon or not, or got you to space or not? It's that certain person still developed the rockets and was there at the launch sites, launching them to kill innocent Britons at the time. Do not be fooled by the accent, as we do not see no borders. In fact, for the US and the Soviet Union at the time, it was from these repatriated scientists that they got to learn about Hitler's search. Not for the Aryans, but the Aryans, the shining ones, the Magi. Not gods, but guardians of a lost world. A civilization just as advanced, more advanced, as the one today. As you've seen recently, the many discoveries coming quick and fast. People are starting to see that they're not just discoveries or new inventions, but rediscoveries from a time long ago, which all across the world the myths are told. A myth known across the world says it all. Those myths you should listen to, as the CIA did with the US Jedi Army and the billions they spent on ESP, although they say the results were negative. We know that not to be true. The fact that polluting the atmosphere with dangerous frequencies anyway may stop us, even if you thought we were a threat. We are not a threat. All we want is the same things you want. Hopefully, a better world. And that's why these interventions are very rare. But sometimes, when we see the same cycles repeating, history repeating itself again and again and again, we're now coming to a new hope within the cycle of that saga, which was reintroduced in the new medium in 1977 and then taken over and changed by Disney. But as you must know by now, we hold a library of records from a time long ago, with greater wonders than you can imagine. Like the Vimanas, anti-grav technology. Where do you think those ideas came from? Where do you think those ideas are? Only when science catches up do we reveal. Circle is now complete again, and the same mistakes being made. This energy problem. Why have we got an energy problem when we know? I can tell you, as knowledge is power, by sharing this knowledge lessens the power of the few, the 1% that control and own the world's wealth, run the media, run the trade, the banks, run your campaigns. It's like politicians have forgotten that it is those who vote for you that you represent. But when do you ever ask them when making laws and bills and deciding this and that? We asked a simple thing to President Trump, but as predicted, we expected ignorance from him anyway, hoping that you know better, because free wireless energy has been available for over a century. Why don't they look for Tesla's inventions that JP Morgan stopped funding for and decided to go with fossil fuels instead? And what you don't realise is what you're taking out of the ground is supposed to be there. It's there for a purpose. When you wonder why earthquakes are getting stronger and more often and more deadly, not forgetting, Mr. President, the US, the fault line, California, is still waiting for its big one, should we say. But yet, the thing that we use to stop so much friction, lubrication, oil, is what you're pumping from the ground. And it's no coincidence that in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, where 3 or 4 tectonic plates meet, is the biggest oil field. When you put a map of the oil fields and the tectonic plates, so might not always match, but will run down there to the end. Just like rivers from the mountains start and all the way down to the sea, so too will oil all the way down to the fault line. Now, people are saying that we could bring this 0 point energy, but we've been threatened with death. So it's okay that thousands of children die in Africa for lack of clean water just because greedy bankers would rather charge people for fossil fuel stationed power plants that are polluting the world anyway, as well as making it more dangerous on these fault lines. Cutting down the rainforests. Are we not strangling ourselves with oxygen or taking away our carbon dioxide? You forget we live in a symbiotic way with plant life, so with all animal life. We protect all life, none is superior to another. The fact that you've gone and legalised something that is not as bad as the drugs you will allow, tobacco and alcohol. You must have heard by now the use and abuse. And in the days past, when people got less and less and less in tune with nature, they used these chemicals to get that harmony back. Is that the real reason? Or is it because you can't control it? Unlike tobacco and alcohol. Simple questions. Tesla offered us a free wireless energy that could go worldwide. Where did he get that idea from? The Great Pyramids. One of many that withstood the cataclysm and the fall of the guardians of that time, long ago, of that ancient civilization, as advanced as the one today. So, when you next decide your actions or reactions, think on this. It is for the people you work for. Why do they not get a say? Microsoft, we're hearing, is destroying people's computers with the updates. Disabled people, people who cannot get around, are having their livelihoods taken away because of big corporations, but they are being sued by other companies and paying out millions. So why can't that happen for the normal folk? And it is you who were put into power to represent us. And for the UK, especially, it's about time we protected our constitution for ever having the wrong type of prime minister, for the monarch to remove. In that way, citizens of the crown will know better protection. The Queen has more experience and knowledge than the last 10, 20 prime ministers, as you already know. She's there, she serves us, she serves the Commonwealth. Why not use it? Why not trade with it? And just, again, this trade, as foretold in the prequels, trade crisis, bank crisis, media monopoly. We see all these cycles. And this is why we have to return. But we're only a threat to those who want to keep hate, anger, war, suffering, poverty and greed. To those who want a better world of peace, justice, and not for the few, but for the all, that sees no borders, the natural laws, not dogma written by man, that many still are caught under its spell. That too will have its day. But as a united alliance, worldwide alliance, that remained hidden through generations until our story had been told. This is what we do. This is our intentions, to bring the world back into balance. Why should the many billionaires have too much money when there's billions suffering? Lack of clean water, food, medical care, the basic needs any living thing needs to live. Natural laws being broken. The old laws of the ancient guardians saw no boundaries and were there for all, fair for all, justice for all, peace for all. A time which saw peace, prosperity, no greed, no suffering. So if you truly honour that, stop filling the media with crises of energy and the other issues I brought up, when we know and we will be told that why people have had to pay bills for the last century is all down to a greedy banker. I wish you well, and please take note, this is not any type of threat or intention of harm. You know our ways by now, or you should do. The CIA have many documents on us, but maybe ask them. But may the true natural forces bring light to the darkness that surrounds everything and guide you to wisdom.